Hello and welcome to Stocks Advisor channel. Here at our channel we are looking for interesting buy opportunities for US-based stocks. Today we will speak about TLRY Incorporated, ticker name TLRY, traded at NASDAQ. Well, first, to understand the situation with TLRY, it's important to keep in mind what the company is doing, and it is engaged in growth and development of medical cannabis. So this is a very specific area which is still kind of not really controversial from medical point of view, but controversial from legislation point of view. Not everywhere it's possible. It's highly regulated area. So therefore, it's also not a massive usage of medical cannabis for the moment. Therefore, the company is not really showing a very strong growth over time. And this is important to remember because it will allow us to understand what's happening with the company. So first, let's have a look for the general current situation. And later we'll come to the point that we discussed at the beginning about the company. So after having the general drop, as many other companies from the pre-COVID start at 17th of March, the major drop, the company started its recovery sequence. It recovered towards actually $10 and then started these recovering waves, which lasted for 4 months. First it used it as moving average 20 as a support line, then it pierced towards moving average 50, and now it's actually last month, all July, it was trading below moving average between 20 and 50, piercing them 2 times with the waves, but then still coming down, and the last session of Friday was also a doji candle at moving average 20. So the question is, where is it going to go? Is it really going to go upwards, downwards, or what's the future? How to understand what's going on with the stock? And immediately what catches your eye here is the first fact is that if you look at the pre-COVID level of the company, it was here. And even after so-called recovery session, it stabilized and it's on this level. So actually, the company almost more than 2.5 times lower than the pre-COVID state. And you can say you can think, oh, it didn't recover, so it's something to do with the COVID, or it's actually not recovering in the COVID, but actually no, it's something more general here, more deep. And to understand what's going on here, let's have a look at the bigger scale of the company chart. And if you look at the 1-year scale, then you understand what's happening. Actually, what happened is that the company overall was declining 1 year, and that's exactly due to the specifics of its work. It's medical cannabis, and everything that we said at the beginning comes here to the consideration. So, and if you look the pre-COVID, this was the general trend of the company. This was what was happening with it, and this is a trend line 1, you can call it. It's a long trend 1 line. It was somewhat broken at the beginning of 2020. And then we had another parallel line formed here. Let's draw it in orange, this one. Still going parallel to trend 1, but let's call it trend 2 line. And actually, what happened then after the company went to this COVID collapse and recovery, it first bounced here. Let's draw it with dark. It first bounced at about beginning of April, end of March at trend line 1, then again bounced downwards from trend line 1, then tried to pierce, and then it stick to trend line 2, and then volatile on it at the beginning of June, and then actually started trying to pierce it again, and then it was able to do it actually mid of July, and now we're a little bit pierced over the trend line 2, and we actually tried to jump over it, and we're sitting on it now. So that the trading session stopped at trend line 2. So now it's a big question. Will we actually use trend line 2 as a support and go higher? Or we will have a downwards correction as we had starting from June and all June towards July, and actually return to trend line 1. And to understand this, we really need to look in general situation with the company. You can see, even though those volatilities, those huge volumes that were traded here, for example, here and here, still the moving average 200, which is this red line, didn't really change its behavior. It's still constantly steady going down. And actually, you can see that both trends, trend 2 and trend 1, are both following exactly moving average 200. So despite this disturbance coming from the COVID, the company is actually not suffering, as you can see here. It's just following the trend line 2. So this arrow is not the loss of the company due to COVID, it's just following the trend 1 and trend 2. Here now you understand it, because you can see what happened here is actually this. It started from these levels. You might think of, oh, pre-COVID, but no, it's just the level of trend, and now we are here. We are just following trend 2 and trend 1 in parallel. It's actually just a matter of constant shift. And that's that red arrow. So actually nothing happens but just following the downwards lines. And in that sense, of course, also if you speak of what company is doing, and it's not major point of attention now, everyone is busy with COVID, no one is mainly interested now with medical cannabis. So you can see that in general there is no strong indication, apart any news might come, that trend 1 or trend 2 will be broken. It's most probably there will be strong volatility around those lines, and actually trend 1 and trend 2 are forming the channel, trade channel, although some volatility is possible here towards moving average 200, the red line, but nothing really indicates for that. So most probably, coming back to the better scale, most probably what will be happening here is actually, let's redraw it back towards our, let's say, lines. So this will make it trend line 1. This will make it trend line 2, actually. So these trend lines are mainly our channels for trade, and most probably if Monday, again, it will be decided actually beginning of this week, next week, if Monday we don't see any significant jump here upwards, if it peers further, then most probably we will stick between trend line 1 and 2, and this will be our trading window, and then you can make your volatility gains here. And having said that, of course, the first strong buying opportunity will be trend line 1, still keeping in mind that further piercing is possible lower levels here, and then this would be another defense line. So anything below that will be second circle to buy, actually. So that's the expectation for this stock. It's trading between trend line 1 and 2. Again, after reconfirmation of Monday, where it's going. If not, then we will have another upwards bounce of trend line 2, and then probably again return here. We will see. But if there is no major news, if everything continues like that, company is just following these two trends, which is in general one trend, just with some general shift, it's downwards, and moving average 200 is also downwards. Until we see some serious changes in moving average 200, which is defined not only by price shift, but also by volumes, we can say of a general return of the reverse of the trend. Otherwise, it's just following the window of trend 1 and trend 2. That's it for TLRY. Still, having said that, on the mid-long term, it's downwards decline or correction, more correctly to say. You can still make your game on local volatilities, because worth to mention that still here this window was quite good for volatility play, red window. But it's purely casino style, because there is no solid indication why it should be here. Actually, it's calling for correction. And probably it was volatile here because after the COVID jump, maybe traders thought that together with other companies that has shown strong recovery, this fund will also show it, but no, it just shows the general trend line continuation. So it's from one side, it's good that COVID didn't kill the company. On another side, nothing changed to really to positive levels. So if no news coming, again, it's important to remember for any medical stage companies, news are very important. FDA-driven, so-called. If no FDA-driven news are coming, it's just following trend 1 and trend 2. That's the main expectation for TLRY stock. Thank you for watching, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel.